Should be working now. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Seems to be all good, guys. If it gets all crazy on me again, just let me know. I'll try to fix it. Hopefully it doesn't get all crazy on us. All right, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Awesome. So I am streaming this this pre-market session live on YouTube as well. Guys, the YouTube subscribers and watchers out there, you're a little delayed compared to what our Discord gets. Our Discord gets, Discord's getting it in real time. On YouTube, it's delayed just a little bit. That's the YouTube delay. It's nothing I can really do about that. But if you guys have any questions, send them in the chats, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. So I'm going to be focused on high quality alerts. We just had a runner here, GDTC. 1040 is the high right now. Broke over $10, hit 1040, 10 cents shy of the 1050. No major levels on this one, guys. So GDTC, you're not going to see a chart in chat, and that's because this is half and whole dollar. So we're looking for it to break over at this point 1050, close over 1050, then needs to hold that level of 1050 and continue its run up to $11. I don't really like trading around the $half levels as much as other traders. I really prefer to trade around the whole dollar levels. So at this point, $10 is that level. Needs to close over $10. If it's going to continue to 1050 and 11, has to close over 10, right? Makes sense. I've got to get a few things situated here before I take any trades. So bear with me. I'm going to share this live stream. There we go. I'm going to put it in our free chat. All right. So streaming live this morning. Streaming live on YouTube. So if you guys are out there in the YouTube world and hearing me, good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got a team. You're going to hear me talking to our team. We've got a team here in Discord. We work together every day. A lot of us have been trading together for years. We look for high quality alerts. Now, some of us will trade different strategies. Most of us are trading the confirmation strategy, which is the strategy I came up with for low float trading. It's really built around risk management, number one. So we're going to focus on risk management. So you guys on YouTube are able to see the scanners as well as our Discord members. I'll pull over the chart once in a while like this here, and you guys can see my charts as well. I'll go over what I'm looking for. Again, on this one on GDTC, we got an alert yesterday that it was a B plus potential at 4:13 p.m. in the aftermarket at $4.05. It sure was a high potential alert because we can see it already hit a high of 1040 over here to the right. So 1040 is the high. We're looking for this to now break back over $10 for it to continue. So if this is going to continue, we want to see it over 10. So I'm going to pull my chart off of there in case I take a trade. Pulling up level 2. So we need to see it close over $10. That's GDTC, $10 at least. If it closes over 10, it's then going to have to hold that level. Keep in mind, it's already hit 1040. I'm in GDTC here. I'm in GDTC. Needs to hold above 10. I'm in. Start to dip below $10. I will bail. If we go below 10, I will bail. Just small size for me, guys. This is not an A+ setup. We don't have levels to trade off of, so this is using half and whole dollar. So I'm in from 1022 as my fill. If we start to dip down to 10, I will add. If we close or start to come under 10, I will bail and take a small loss here. So willing to take a loss here, looking for 1050. If we get up to 1050, I'll start scaling out of my position. Looking for 1050 and 11. Has to stay above $10. Keep in mind the gap to 1050 has about filled. So really want to see this close over 1050 before trading aggressive. And for me, I like the whole dollar, so that would be $11. So watching GDTC here, I'm in this trade. Has to stay above $10. Start to dip below 10, I will bail. Will not wait for the candle to close. Smaller size for me. Added there, I'm at 10.16 is my average now. Needs to hold above 10. Start to come under $10, I will bail. Finger on the trigger here. So I've got basically like an oh crap button. So if things start to go south on me, I've got a button or a hotkey to get myself back out of that trade. I'm adding down here at 10. Adding. Needs to stay above $10. It's dipping below here. So it's struggling to stay above 10. Still closing in 20 seconds. Still holding. Add it again. As soon as we start to come under, I'm going to bail. So still holding. Adding here. Now I'm adding below 10 to really lower my cost base, but as soon as we close below 10, which we're about to here in 5 seconds, I will bail. So finger on the sell button. I'm all out. Took a loss there. Down $8, guys. Very little of a loss for myself as I'm only adding smaller size. So I'm going to keep this one very small and tight until we see something higher quality. If we get back over 1050, I'd be a little bit more aggressive. But the fact that we filled a gap to 1040 and 1050 area, I'm a little hesitant here. So close over $10 is what I want to see. I'll take a starter over 10. Can add into the $10 dip. As soon as we come under 10, I will bail, just like I did there. I'm down $8 so far to start the day, which is nothing for me. That's pretty much flat. That's just it's a manageable loss. So smaller size on GDTC until I see a higher quality setup. What I would prefer to see is us to get over 1050. So a close over 1050. And I'm watching a 1 minute chart, guys. And I'll pull the chart back over again so everyone can see. I'm watching a 1 minute chart. I don't have any key levels to trade off of, and therefore that tells me it's definitely not going to be an A+ setup. So if I do get in this one, it will be quick in, quick out, and I will not overstay my welcome. What I'm looking for is a close over this 1050 level, and the reason for it is because that's the $half mark. So it's a mental level, right? So 1050 would be right around here. So I want to see a close over that level to tell me that it's bullish, to continue its trend up to $11, $11.50, $12. So if I think we're going to get up to those levels, the only way we're going to get up to those levels is if we get above 1040. And you hear Charlie talking here. I'll try not to talk around when Charlie's talking. So GDTC watching here. Needs to get back over 10 to even be considered. If it gets over $10, may take a starter. 1050 is really where I want to see it get over. So $10 and 1050 are the two key levels I'm watching here on GDTC using half and whole dollar. You can see on the scanners, it's all over the scanners. Mute Charlie here for a minute. If you guys are just tuning in on YouTube and you're not familiar with the scanners, the green is going to be stocks making highs. So all of these green boxes you see here, green here, momentum high of day. This one is high of day, low volume. So this is telling us that, yes, it's making highs, but it's doing it on low volume. We also have a larger float high of day over here, which doesn't have any results on it just yet. My focus will be on the bullish momentum watch, which is going to be our exactly that, our bullish volume that we're looking for. So this is where my eyes usually will be. We've got our 1 minute volume leaders up here. We can see BTTX is that 1 minute volume leader. So if I pull up the chart, go to multiple charts here, you can see BTTX has that volume that's kind of picking up here. But thing about BTTX is it's already gapped up and fell down from 147 was the high this morning. So technically speaking, for me to get excited behind BTTX, it would have to get over this cluster of resistance. So you can see that this is a cluster of resistance here. I'll add this like this. You can see this is a cluster of resistance, right? Makes sense. What it means is there's a whole bunch of levels above where I'm looking, and that means there's a whole bunch of resistance. So very simply put, and therefore I want to be a little hesitant trading. And if I do trade, I want to be maybe reduce my size, tighten up my stop, things like that. So BTTX is on the 1 minute volume scanner. Yes, it does have volume, but it's not where I need to trade it. So just because it's on our scanners here on the right hand side, or on the center of your screen. Just because we see it on our scanners does not mean it's tradable. I know a lot of traders just want to trade off the scans, but that's just not feasible. So I'm looking for high quality alerts paired with high quality setups on the chart. Right now I'm down $8 on the day on GDTC. Smaller ads, very small ads into that one under the $10 range. I'm glad I got out of GDTC as well, guys. If you pull up the chart, as I mentioned, it has to stay above $10. So if I put a level at 10, right? I'll come in here and just plop a line at $10. You know, it has to get above that. Next level would be then 1050. And I wouldn't typically have these lines or levels on my chart. But you guys can see there that if I did have these lines and levels on my chart, half and whole dollar, if you're not familiar with them, go ahead and mark them. For me, I'm very familiar with these levels, so I don't need to mark them. But if you did have those marked, you would see that we failed this level. As soon as we close below, and this is a red candle here, as soon as we close below that level, that's it for me. I cannot look at this and be excited and think, oh, we're going to go up to 11. We're going to go up to 12. We're going to go to 13. The only way we can get to $12 is if we close over $10 first. And that is the key. That's the whole soul of confirmation. We're looking for it to confirm that level and tell us that it's bullish so we can ride the bullish momentum. If it can't close over its resistance, I can't take the trade. If it closes under that level once it's above, like this candle here, that's it. I bail on my trade, and that's all she wrote. So GDTC, for me to watch this one and possibly trade it, has to get over 10 bucks. So I can come in here, just set an alert, just like this, and hit create. But what I like to do, guys, set the alert just below. So I'm going to set it right here, hit create, and there we go. We now have an alert on our chart. And the reason I set it below my level is so I can really assess these conditions beforehand. So if I think I want to get in at $10, I don't want to be notified as soon as it hits $10. I want to be notified just before so I can really assess the conditions leading into that trade. As you can see, some of these trades are better than others. You can see this on this one. I have the indicator bullish vertical trend, and it was red in the background, letting us know that there might be a little breather here. We might see a little breather. And sure enough, if I click on this here, you did have a little breather there. So it gapped up, came back down, and then continued its way back up through these levels. So I will be watching GDTC, but I will not trade this one aggressive. And the reason for it is because, again, I don't have any major weighted levels. Now, another thing to mention on this one is GDTC was on our scanners last night. It was a high potential, B plus potential, mark the chart at 4:13 p.m. at $4.05, guys. $4.05. That's all the way down here. So from $4.05, if I go ahead and go down here and measure this move, this was a 156% move so far on GDTC. So I don't want to be overly aggressive knowing that the bulk of this move has already happened, right? So that's a bit of a concern for myself. And that's just common sense. I think that's just common sense right there. The fact that we've gapped up so much does not mean that we can't continue to gap up. We're up 174%. If you look at the gap up scanner in the top right, you can see GDTC up 174%. So yes, it is way up there. It does not mean it won't continue to go up. What it does mean is I want to be a little on the reserve side or a little bit on the wary side of, if it goes up, do I want to be overly aggressive? And no, I don't. I like the gap above. I like that we have half and whole dollar levels. I love trading half and whole dollar. But at this point, a lot of that move has already happened. So I need to see GDTC over $10 and $10.50. That would be confirmation. Now, our scanners will notify us where the value is in the market. Again, my eyes are going to be fixated on the high of day and the bullish momentum. That's where I'll be watching. So looking for something to hit those scans. Now, we also have these two scans here, the Teacher's Pet and Find It First Teacher's Pet. Very, very valuable scanners. What these scanners are doing is it's assessing these alerts as they come in, and I have just a list of parameters that needs to check off these boxes where it then tells us, is it a high quality alert or is it a low quality alert? And oftentimes if it's a high quality alert, that's fine. Does not mean it's tradable just because it's a high quality alert. We then need to pull up the chart and see if it's a high quality setup to pair with that high quality alert. Very important. So no position for myself at this time. Small loss so far. I'm down $8. I'm okay with that. It's pretty much flat for me. No position at this time. GDTC, I've got an alert set just under $10 to watch if we can get over that level. So I will be watching that on GDTC. DFLI making some noise on the scanners, letting us know there's a little bit of volume, and DFLI showing a 9 million, 10 million share float. I'm going to pull up the chart and mark it. So that's the first thing I do. DFLI, pulling it up. Marking levels of interest for our team. And I'll pull this chart over as soon as I get done. GDTC is up near 960 right now. Marking DFLI for our team. I'll have this out in just a moment. GDTC is on the scanners. Levels coming out on DFLI here in just a moment. Got levels coming out on DFLI. Nice gap on this one. So first thing I do is I mark the chart, add the chart to our team in Discord. So DFLI has been updated, is in our chat. Let me verify that I don't have any levels above this. I do not. So DFLI is in a large gap right now, guys. Pulling the chart over so you guys can see what I have for DFLI levels. So you can see that I have a level at $1.62. So I'm going to pull it up. See if there's any news on it first. DFLI. So checking Benzinga to see if there's any news. There is news. Put this on here. Put that right there on the chart. So there is news on DFLI. Got my levels there. There's news. I don't have any major levels around here. That's kind of an issue for me. If I were to take this trade, I'd have to see it over $2. It would then have to hold $2, half and whole dollar over $2. No position for myself. Can see DFLIs popping up here. Getting a pop. 188's the high on DFLI. You can see it's all over the scanners. DFLI on the left side here. DFLI on our bullish momentum. DFLI on high of day. So it's telling us that there's value here. So we're looking for it to basically fit our strategy at this point. No position for myself this time. We can see that DFLI is now giving us a bullish vertical trend. If you look at the chart there, you can see a bullish vertical trend. That's one of the major red flags that we have in our Discord. So if you guys are a part of the Discord, you'll see that we have multiple channels in here. If I pull this up, left-hand side, we've got, these are the major red flags. Low volume, major red spotted, bullish vertical trend. This is the one that we're seeing right now. And you can see examples on that as well. So we have examples in our Discord on these as well. And a few videos to go along with it. Back to the day trading chat with our team. Hey, good morning, Bo. Good morning, Natty. Mac, Wave. Good morning, everyone. Custom Carport, Zayway. Good morning, guys. DFLI hitting highs here, seeing a bullish vertical trend on DFLI. This is the news up on the chart. You have the news, you have the chart, hitting $2 here. So close over 2 is what we want to see. Watching DFLI. Closing in 30 seconds. You can see that on the right-hand side. Closing in 30 seconds. Has to close over 2, then hold that level. Seeing that bullish vertical trend is one of the major red flags that we look for before entering our trades.
DFLI. 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 DFLI.
Major red flag spotted.
DFLI. DFLI.
DFLI, major red flag. Bullish vertical trend, we can see that clear. Did it close over 2? It did. Closed at 210. Needs to hold $2. No position for myself at this time. Think it needs a little bit of a breather here, guys. Not sure we're going to see it, though, but because of these conditions, we can see that it's pretty extended. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green bars in a row. Needs to hold above 2. Close under 2 is bearish. Now, I could take this trade, just reduce my size because of knowing these conditions. I'm going to let it go without me for now, but that being said, does not mean it won't continue. So if you guys are in this one, it's just a higher risk. That's all it means. So a little bit higher risk, but it's still bullish momentum. It's over $2. So there's 216, 217 new highs. We'll wait for a little breather here. Not sure if we'll see it or not, but I'm going to sit back. If anyone's in it, target would be from here, 250, being the $half level, which would be up here at this level. No position for myself at this time. Major red flag spotted. Let's see what that is. That's down here at the bottom. Major red flag watch. You can see this is one of our scans we have. DFLI, bullish vertical trend, telling us that there is a bullish vertical trend. So if you have the chart up on DFLI, you would then see as well that there is a bullish vertical trend, right? So that is a major red flag that we look for in our Discord if you're trading the confirmation strategy. No position for myself at this time. Watching DFLI here. Like to see a breather. Tempting. Very tempting to get into this one. But I think I'll sit out for now. I'm down $8. Watching DFLI. Want to see it close and stay closed over $2. If I were to take a trade here, I'd have to take a smaller size. Reduce my size. Reduce my risk. That's DFLI. Major red flag spotted. You can see down here, bullish vertical trend on DFLI. Does not mean it won't continue. What it means is I want to adjust my approach knowing those conditions. So I feel like it needs a breather. It may not care what I feel like, but I'm looking for a breather on this one before I enter my trade. So I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it close below the 2 and then back over 2. That's what I'd like to see, but not sure we'll get that set up. So just a couple red candles here would make sense. Even just one just to give us a breather. So DFLI has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green bars in a row on the 1-minute chart. A pullback would make sense. Does not mean it's going to happen, though, guys. I've seen it plenty of times go up 15, 20 green candles in a row. It does not tell us that it's not tradable. What it tells us is, again, I want to adjust my approach. Seeing a pullback here. Major red candle there on DFLI, closed under $2. Closed at $2, right at 2. So we want to see it close back over $2 before considering. That bullish vertical trend was telling us that there was a red flag on our red flag watch over here. GDTC making some noise now as well. Let's take a look at that one. GDTC making an effort here at the $10 range again, low volume. And I know it's low volume, guys, because I have this BB volume indicator. It's going to paint the candles based on the volume requirements that I need. So I need to see, very simply put, I need to see a yellow candle. I need to see a yellow candle close over these white lines. Very, very simple strategy. So that's what we're looking for before I can deem this as bullish. I've got GDTC pulled up on the level 1, level 2 data. Closing in 3 seconds, hitting $10 here. Close over 10 and 1050 is worth watching. We'll then have to hold those levels. Close back below is bearish. No major weighted levels for me. These here, guys, are just mental levels. So mental half and whole dollar, 10, 1050. Speaking about bullish momentum, we want to see this close over 1050. So technically speaking, we've about filled the gap to 1050. 1040 is the high. So really, we want to see it close over 1050 before we get excited and say, this thing is bullish, right? So if I'm looking for that bullish momentum, It has to close over 10.50. Right now, $10 is going to act as a whole dollar resistance as well. So close over 10 first to be considered. Close over 10.50 to be a little bit more aggressive. So watching here, GDTC. Closing in 10 seconds. Watching. Finger on the buy button here. Or buy hotkey. Closing here in 5 seconds. Taking a very small starter here. Oh, see that? We've got a bullish vertical trend. You guys can see that on the chart. And see, that's a red flag. So for me, that means it's going to tell me to scale out of my position fast. So if we pop up, I will scale out. I'm not going to add. This is just a starter for me. Really want to see it over 10.50 before I get aggressive here. So small starter for me here. Start to come under 10, we'll bail. So we can see that red flag there is telling me that it's a higher risk trade, and therefore I don't want to be overly aggressive. So if we start to pop, I may take profit and look for a close over 10.50 and maintain bullish. Getting a pop here. I'll take a little bit of profit. There we go. Nice. All right, there we go, guys. Out 90% at target. Can hit 90% target there. I'm out 90% on GDTC. 10-minute warning until 8 a.m. You can see that it's going up here. I've already taken profit, guys. So I'm out right there on that move. I'm out 90%. So I'm taking profit. And the reason for it, again, bullish vertical trend. It's not the prettiest setup in the world, right? But we got that yellow candle closing over a white line. Very, very simple. Right now I'm up 5% on this trade. I'm already out 90%. If you guys agree, don't be afraid to shave down and take profit on GDTC. I'm out 90%. If we close over that 1050, we can see that that candle did not close over 1050. Want to see that candle close clean over that level. So this white line, want to see it clean close over that level. Still holding a small position on GDTC. I'm out 90%. Close over 1050 is worth watching to continue this trend. Let's take a look at DFLI. We have a quick minute. See what's going on over here. DFLI needs to get back over 2. So again, I'm going to set my alert just around that $2 level. Add alert. And there we go. Now I'll be notified if it gets over $2. So I'm very not too concerned with it until it does. So I'm in GDTC, very small size. Again, I'm out 90%, guys. I'm not looking to overstay my welcome. Mentioned that it was a bullish vertical trend. We can see that I'm dropping here and starting to go red on the trade. So I'm going to bail on my trade. Major red flag spotted. Especially if we close. If we close under that $10, that's it for me, 100%. But I'm in from 10.13. About to sell here. Don't like that candle. Still holding. Still holding on this. If we close under 10, I'm just going to bail. You can see a major red there at our resistance. So knowing the conditions here, and I'm going to bail on this, guys, so I don't give back too much profit. Knowing the conditions here on GDTC, this is why I was able to get that profit. See, I knew that I wanted to close over this white line with a yellow candle, right, for the required volume. We did so. 1 minute later, we hit our target. Now, I knew that there was a bullish vertical trend, and so I didn't want to overstay my welcome, so I wanted to get in, get green, and get out, and that's exactly what I did there on GDTC. So we did not clean close over this next level, and that's what I need to see to get excited. So now, I'm going to set an alert up here. I'm going to set it right there on GDTC, create alert, and now I don't have to watch it. So I won't be glued to this chart any longer. But if it closes over 1050, I can take a trade because the theory is on confirmation is if I think this is going to 11, 12, 13, $14, it first has to close over 1050. So that's where I'm setting my alert, and that's where I'm looking for a possible trade. But I'm all out of my position on GDTC. Flat on the day, small green, but pretty much flat. Took a small loss on GDTC, took a small gain here on GDTC. So flat on the day, nothing crazy. Keeping it tight. Don't want to be overly aggressive until I see a higher quality setup. We've got DFLI over here was moving on news. Has to get back over $2 to be considered. And we'll keep in mind that $2 is not a major weighted level on my chart. So because of that, I cannot trade this aggressive, guys. I have to see it around a major weighted level, which is one of these white lines or purple dotted lines. So for me, confirmation is very, very simple. Close over a predetermined resistance is what I want to see. Close back below that level after being above. Close back below that support level is bearish. So in other words, if it gets above a line, I can get in. If it comes back below the line, I get out. Very, very, very simple strategy. So GDTC is making some noise. Let's take a look over it. And again, it's making some noise on our scanners, letting us know that there's some volume and some value here. But again, high quality alerts paired with high quality setups. So I can't just take this trade just because it's yelling at me on the scanners. I want to focus on high quality setups. So a high quality setup for me would be a close over 1050, as we have not closed over that level yet today. The high of day so far is 1066, but we do not have a clean close over 1050, being the $half mental level. I don't have any major weighted levels on GDTC, so I'm looking for half and whole dollar as my support and resistance. Once we close over a predetermined resistance, which would be this line here. So if I mark this, come in here, that would be my resistance area. I've got to see it over that. So if we mark this as resistance, I want to see it close over this level before I deem it as bullish. So until it does so, I will not be entering my trade. And that's because I trade bullish momentum. Some traders are looking to short these. If you're looking to short, then same idea. Close below is bearish, close above is bullish. So if I was in on the short side, if it closed above this level, well, that's where I'd probably cover my position and bail. So that is on GDTC. DFLI is curling back up to 2, has not hit the target. Has not hit the target yet. We've got 5 minutes till 8. So watching here, got some members in chat. Profit protection mode thanks to GDTC. Way to go, Paris. Great job. So we're very, we move together as a group and as a team here, but of course we're all going to take different, where I pull the trigger and buy may not be where you pull the trigger and buy. So everyone's a little bit different. No position for myself at this time. GDTC is making some noise. I'll pull that one back up. So again, scanners letting us know there may be some value in the market, but of course we're going to pair these high quality alerts with a high quality setup. We want to see it over that 1050 level before we deem this as bullish. So yeah, it's making some noise. Yeah, it's got some volume, and yeah, you might have, a small scalp here and there or whatever. But the bottom line is it's not really bullish until it closes over a resistance. Once it closes over that resistance, it should then hold that resistance as a support. Close back below is bearish. Very, very, very simple strategy. So simple strategy, close above, bullish, close below, bearish. So I'm green on the day, very small size on GDTC, only 2 trades on this one. First trade was a red trade, was down $8. Now I'm up on GDTC, very small. So this is pretty much flat for me. Looking for a clean setup here. Would really prefer some breaking news from Benzinga. We've got about 5 minutes until 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is going to provide these wonky charts, late prints. If you're confused about those charts and late prints at that time, then what you can do is you can watch the level 2 data and level 1 data. If you keep your eyes on the level 1, if you're in the position, then you'll see what the actual bid and ask price is, and that's where the price is that were the actual prices. So if the chart is showing that wonky candles, which it will here in just a few minutes, disregard that. Those are just late prints rolling in. Keep an eye on the level 1 and level 2 data to really assess where the current price is. So no position for myself. 2 trades so far this morning. GDTC, have gotten both of my trades. Looking for something, I would prefer something under 25 million share float, over $2. And something with breaking news would be nice. But of course, we will trade what's in front of us. Our strategy does not require breaking news, though it does help our strategy, because what it does is basically just draws more attention, more eyes onto that stock. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something with breaking news. No position for myself at this time. 2 trades so far in GDTC. And if I get in anything, I'll let you guys know where I'm getting in, when I'm getting in, why I'm getting in, and where I'm looking to scale up. So for me, again, I'm looking for momentum, looking for bullish momentum. I want to see that that volume coming in the right direction. So DFLI was on watch. and GDTC was on watch. DFLI did not get a trade in. It had a bullish vertical trend. Beautiful move here. So if anyone scalped that move, what a beautiful move. But we had some red flags here letting us know that, hey, you know, it might need a little breather, right? We've got those bullish vertical trend here letting me know that, you know, it's a red flag. And again, if I pull over the Discord, expand this, we're in our day trading chat, but if I go down, you'll see these examples in our Discord. So bullish vertical trend, these are going to be examples for that. The cluster of resistance, what's that? Well, you've got examples on that as well. So if you're confused about those and you're in our Discord, you do have examples there. So feel free to reference that. And of course, we have the confirmation strategy guide available as well. DFLI, we can see had those major red flags letting us know, you know, we could take a trade, but is it worth our time? Do we want to throw the kitchen sink at this setup here? No, we don't. And why is that? Because we have those red flags beforehand. So if you're trading the confirmation strategy, we look for these red flags before entering our trade as it helps assess the quality of the trade. GDTC is making some noise here again. I want to see it close over its resistance. So I want to see it close over 1050 before I consider it. So for me, guys, because I've already traded the $10 level twice, I will not trade that level again. I want to see it now close above the 1050. We've already filled the gap here, so the probability of this gap filling again is less likely, though it doesn't mean it won't happen. If I need to see it over 1050, it's going to close over 10 likely first. So watching for GDTC to close over 1050, and I have my alert set just there at 1041. So if we get up to 1041, I'll be watching. And you can see there that candle is rejecting. You can see a rejection there, topping tail, basically telling us, hey, we're rejecting these higher prices over 10. And we want to see it close over $10 just to even consider this one or start watching it. So I'm not too concerned with this one. I'll be watching for something else. So far, I'm green on the day. Very small size, though. Pretty much flat, guys. GDTC was the only stock I've traded so far. I closed over $10 over here, took the trade, closed back below. I bailed on the trade. That was a loss for me. Took the trade back over here within 1 minute. We hit our target, scaled out, knew that there was a bullish vertical trend, knew I wanted to take profit, so I did, and I'm all out of my position. I was holding a small lotto, but the lotto ended up giving back some of my profit a little bit. So now on GDTC, I want to see over 1050. On DFLI, I need to see over 2. Well, keep in mind that both of these have the same issue. The same major issue of both of these is that neither one of these has any major weighted levels above. So I'm using half and whole dollar on both of them, which is an issue. I'm going to pull these charts off the screen here for a minute. Late prints are coming in. These are late prints, late prints, late prints. And what I mean about late prints, I'll pull the chart back over. These are late prints. You can see late prints, late prints. So the price is up, down, up, down. I've got level 1 pulled up on another page here, and it's showing me the price is 982. So it's around there, yes. So this candle dipped all the way down here, went all the way up here, but really it's not bullish until it closes over the 1050. Hearing CING on the scanners. You can see it on our scans here, bullish momentum and high of day. Pulling up CING to mark the chart. First thing I do is mark the chart. CING is making some noise here, showing the value. Ticker CING. Going to mark the chart for our team. So first thing I do is mark each one of these charts and get them out to our Discord team. That way you can compare your levels to mine. It takes about 1 to 5 minutes to mark each chart, by the way. Just about done here on CING. I'll have this out in just a minute. Ticker SPY, new highs. No position for myself at this time. New highs on low volume. Major red flag spotted. Still marking the chart. I'll have this out in just a minute. New highs on low volume. Your stock's making highs on low volume. For my strategy, it does require volume, no trade. That's my number 1 personal rule. If I do take a trade with lower volume, then I have to greatly reduce my size, knowing those conditions. All right, I'm good with that on CING. Going to get this out to our team and check for news. CING updated chart is out in chat. Pull this over so everyone can see what I see. CING levels are on the right-hand side. Now, what I want to see is, do we have news? I'm guessing there's news. Checking for news at Benzinga. There is news. Going to share this into our chat. Hearing OCEA. News on CING here. So looking for it to close over resistance. So again, same idea. I want to see it close over this resistance up here. Has not closed over. It's 139, 130, 138. So it's got to get over 138 and 155 to be considered. That's CING. It does have news, so it is worth watching. Does have volume. Does have a major red and a bullish vertical trend at the moment. So it makes sense to get a little breather. I heard, let's see, OCEA was on the scanners as well. I'm going to pull that one up. See if there's anything going on there. So marking OCEA. And oftentimes, guys, it takes me 1 to 5 minutes to mark each one of these charts. But what that does is it helps me avoid taking a trade too early. Because there is times, guys, where I'll take a trade right when the scanners go off. And it will turn to an immediate loss. So I want to stick to high quality alerts. Paired with high quality setups. Very, very important. It's a big difference. So marking OCEA, we'll have this chart out in just a minute for our team. We'll pull it over for our YouTube members as well. And if you guys are just joining on YouTube, I appreciate your time this morning. I'll go over what I often do is I go over my trades, yes, but this is not trade alerts. This is trade education. What I'm doing is trying to notify you guys and let you know where I'm getting in, when I'm getting in, why I'm getting in, and where I'm looking to scale out. That way I'm very transparent with what's going on here. And the idea behind that is, you know, you should be able to trade without me there. I should be able to trade without you there, right? We're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to make money and trying to stay profitable. So stick to what works for you, of course. We've got levels coming out on OCEA for our team. OCEA has been updated and in chat. And there is news. I'm sharing that as well. And we don't just trade breaking news by itself. It has to be paired, of course, with volume and a clean setup. So on OCEA, you can see that there was news here. CING making some noise, getting back up to resistance here. Now, CING is a cheapo, guys. It's under $2. I do prefer stocks over $2. That alone knocks it down the quality. Close over $1.38 is worth watching for a possible move to $1.50 and $1.55. I may sit this one out. That's what we've got here. CING, we've got it pulled up. Watching CING. Seeing a bullish vertical trend. 155 would be a target for anyone who's in. No position for myself at this time. I'm going to let this go without me, guys. This is a smaller time frame level. Does not mean it won't hold up, but I'm going to sit out for now. Seeing that's becoming a little extended, but the target here would be 150 and 155. So if I was in this position, 138 has to hold. Close below is bearish. 138 needs to hold. If it can hold, 150 would be my target. There's 147. There's 150. So that's a target hit. So if anyone took that trade there, that's confirmation of the 138. It's a riskier trade, being that it's a cheapo and being that this is a smaller time frame level. That being said, first close over, hitting target 150. Next target would be 155. There is news on CING. There's a target hit, 154, 1 penny shy of our 155 level. That's CING. Nice moves here, guys. So if you're trading confirmation, again, confirmation would be a close over the 138 level to hold that level and hit target 150 and 155. Now we want to see it close over 155 on CING. Has not done so yet. Target would be 173 above that. Keep in mind, this is a cheapo. Cheaper price stock, under $2. Do prefer stocks over $2. Doesn't mean that I won't trade it. Just means I'll be a little reserved trading stocks like this. Won't go full size often. So if you guys are trading on CING, that was a nice confirmation of our key level. And let me expand the chart so everyone can see this on YouTube as well. Again, the idea was to close over its resistance level. It did so right here on this candle. Had a green candle close over our line, right? Very simple. Then hit target less than 1 minute later. We see a bullish vertical trend here on CING, bullish vertical trend. So I might get a little pop and then drop here shortly. Target would be 173. For anyone who's in, 173 is a target. No position for myself. 10 seconds left on this candle. CING closed over 155. Target would be 173. Very risky. As we can see, it's a bullish vertical trend. No position for myself at this time, but this one is grinding. Does have that news. It's in chat if you guys need it. Levels are in chat as well. Clean confirmation of 138. Closed above that level. Hit target soon after. Very nice moves here. Only trades I've taken so far is GDTC over $10. I'm green on the day. Very small size. If you guys are trading confirmation, right here, CING has to stay above 155. Close under 155 is bearish. Keep in mind, we do have a red flag here. A bullish vertical trend does not mean it will retrace back below that level. Just means that a breather would make sense.
Major red flag spotted.
Hearing DFLI getting a pop here on late prints. OCEA, we're dodging a bullet there. CING is hitting highs. New high 166. Bullish vertical trend, as you guys can see. Needs to stay above 155. Target would be 173. Keep in mind, we do have these red flags. So if I was in my position, it'd be a good idea to lock in some of that profit. Lomo locked in some profit. Great job, Lomo. Crushing it today. Great job. No position for myself at this time. CING has to stay above 155. If it can hold 155, target is 173. 166 is the high so far. We're looking for a breather here. Would make sense. 30 seconds left on this candle. That's ticker CING. No position for myself at this time. Cheapo here moving. On news, does have news on CING. Make the news a little bit larger so everyone can see that. I'm not sure how easy it is to see all this, and as we break resistance levels, the next level above will count as resistance. So every time we get above, we're looking for it to hold that level and then hit the next target area. So right here, CING just came back down. Did it close under its level? I don't believe it did. 155 closed at the level, so very risky. But a retrace breather here, that candle is what we want to see. That's our breather. So now it can get back up. We want to see it close over 173. No position for myself at this time. CING is a not exactly a high quality setup, but it's also it is moving. Does have news this morning. There's a pop. For anyone who's in, 173 would be a target. Close under 155 is bearish.
Heads up, team. We've got an A+ candidate.
We got an A+ candidate on the scanners. And you guys can see on the scanners, we have graded alerts as well. So OCEA showing that it's a B+ potential, but we need it to actually close above its resistance. Let's see. CING is closing here in 8 seconds. Want to see it clean close over 155 and hold. Close below 155 is bearish. Closing in 2 seconds. Close below that level. So bearish on CING until it closes back over 155 and 173. So that's where I would definitely exit my position if I was in. That's confirmation. So confirmation, again, we can get in once it gets above this white line. If it comes below the white line and closes under, like it did here on this red candle, that's it. We bail. I'll expand the chart so everyone can see that again. So I like the news. I like the price action. I like the volume. White candles is showing a lot of volume is what it's telling us. This candle here had 405,000 shares. Very nice. ELOX is hitting the scanners here. ELOX. Pulling up ELOX to mark the chart for our team. Marking ELOX for our team. We'll have these levels out in just a minute. MJ, I see you sharing news for our team this morning. Really appreciate your help. Always a huge help, by the way. We've got members in chat right now as well. We'll go over what we see together. Marking ELOX. We'll have this out in just a minute. You can see it's on our graded scans. So if you guys have the scanners up now, you can see that it's on our graded scans, showing that it was a A- and A+ potential. So there's a lot of potential on this ELOX. Marking the chart, we'll have us out in just a minute. Thank you, MJ. Appreciate it. No position for myself at this time. Marking the chart on ELOX. We'll have us out in just a minute. Again, takes 1 to 5 minutes to mark each one of these charts. Well worth the effort.
CING.
That levels will come out in just a minute.
CING.
Seem to have a lot of resistance on ELOX. All right, I think I'm good with that. So the chart is marked on ELOX. So far, it looks like we're dodging a bullet. So ELOX has been updated. Pull this back over so everyone can see those levels. So pretty nasty looking chart so far, so I'm not too concerned with that that chart. CING is about filling the gap above. Closing here in 15 seconds. Hit 169 so far high. 173 would be a target. Needs to close over 155 to be considered. Seeing a major topping tail here. That's a bit concerning. Closing in 5 seconds. No position for myself. See that, guys? See how we did not close over that level? See that? See on that topping tail right there in this massive topping tail, we did not close over the resistance. It has to close over that resistance first, just to even be considered. So for me to even consider or even look at this for a possible trade, it has to first close over that resistance. It did not do so. So right now we're avoiding a major loss. That would be a false breakout avoided. You know, and if you're buying the top of that, I've been there before. Buying the top of that candle, you know, you'd be 8% down. From the top of that candle down to this line, that's 8%, just like that. So, you know, avoiding these major losses and these false breakouts by just sticking to the rules of the strategy. It's very, very simple. Here in DFLI, making some noise. Again, these are late prints. Pull up the level 1 data, you'll know that. Look at this crazy candle. So DFLI, crazy candle here. Not too concerned with that. That is BS. That's just the late prints coming in. So it can yell at us all it wants on the scans. We know better. So still watching this. CING has to close over 155 to be considered. But keep in mind, guys, CING already about filled the gap to 173. So, you know, it may continue, but I think what it's going to be is choppy. I think we're going to have some choppy price action. And for that choppy price action, I think that I'm going to be a little reserved. So knowing the conditions beforehand, knowing that we've got a cluster of resistance above, knowing that we've got this false breakout and this major red, it basically is telling me that, yeah, I can take the trade. But if I take this trade, I want to adjust my approach. So I want to adjust that approach because of that.
New highs on low volume.
Adding this into the chat. And you guys can see if I pull up Discord, I just share this in chat. Major red flags, what should I do? Greatly reduce my size, tighten up my stop loss, don't wait for a candle to close under the support to bail, avoid this trade and look elsewhere for higher quality setups. That's how I treat it whenever I see those major reds. So if I see a major red like we just saw here on CING, and I see that we've got a cluster of resistance, and I go back to our Discord and I say, okay, you know, we've got the guide here. We've got the confirmation guide. We've got major red flags spotted. We've got a bullish, we have a cluster of resistance spotted. So knowing these conditions beforehand, again, means that I want to adjust my approach knowing that these conditions are here. So yes, I can take the trade. And yes, I know that it's higher risk and it may pan out. It may continue to grind up and hit new highs. But I just want to be reserved knowing that these conditions are knocking the quality down of the trade. So every time we see these conditions, it's basically knocking the quality down a little bit, right? So every day, we come in here, we mark the chart, we look for a clean close over resistance. It's nice that it has news, although it's not required for our strategy. We're looking for a clean confirmation. So we're looking for these 1 minute candles, and this is a 1 minute chart. You can see up here 1 minute. Looking for a clean close over this level to even deem this as bullish. Before I see that, I can't really deem it as bullish. So no position for myself at this time. I've taken 2 trades so far today. GDTC, green on the day. Very small, but happy to be green.
PPBT.
Russell, profit protection mode already. Nice. Way to go.
New
highs on low volume. Great job. All right. What do we have moving now that's making some noise? PPBT. All right. Let's pull up the chart. I'll take off E-logs because that one's not doing anything right now. So PPBT. Papa Bacon Tango. Did I do that right, guys? I'm not sure if I did that right, but good enough. Marking the chart on PPBT. Always my first step. Mark the chart. I'll pull over the chart to our YouTube subscribers as well here soon. You can see it's a 20 million share float, so low float on PPBT. Hitting the scanners here, hitting the graded scan as well. Still marking PPBT. Have us out in just a minute. In my experience, guys, it's better to sit back, mark the chart, and be prepared for a bigger move. If it's going to be if it's a good setup, it's gonna provide at least a couple good setups here in the pre-market session. Major red flag spotted. No position for myself this time. Still marking PPBT for our team. Have us out in just a minute. New highs on low volume. HKD new highs on low volume. So we know that that's low volume. Scanner's telling us that. All right. Levels coming out on PPBT for our team in Discord. Major red flag. Seeing a cluster of resistance. Pulling it over to our YouTube members as well. So you guys have that now. PPBT with my levels in chat. I'm going to check for news now. So what's this telling me? It's telling me that there's a cluster of resistance. There is news. Getting the news out now. Get the news on the chart as well for you guys. So there is news on PPBT, which is helpful. Basically is drawing attention. No major reds yet, but look at that candle right there. Isn't that nasty? So that's what we're avoiding right now. And the reason we're avoiding that is because we have this cluster of resistance. So we need to see now a clean close over 208, 209, 215, 216. But again, a cluster of resistance. And look at that massive red there, negative 11%. So we are avoiding a major loss there. GDTC making some noise, but again, it has to get over its resistance of 1050 first. PPBT. Look at that, guys. We are avoiding a major loss there. 12% negative candle. Very, very happy to avoid that loss. And the only reason I avoided that loss is because I'm sticking to my rules and my strategy. PPBT is showing a 20 million share float. That's a low float, but look at that. Look at that nasty move, guys. And again, you know, I missed out on this initial move, but that's not the type of move that I usually make my money on. Usually I'm making my money on bullish momentum and continuation. So no position for myself this time. Yes, Russell, it would be a bullish vertical trend. See how it's spotted there on the chart? You're talking about on PPBT? Yeah, you can see it on my chart on the scanners if you have the scanners up. GDTC making some noise. Let's take a look at this one. Major red flag spotted. Major red. It's from our major red down here, showing us that there is major reds on PPBT. And if we pull up PPBT, sure enough, we'll see that there was major reds, right? Massive major reds. Now, in my experience too, this does not mean it won't curl back up and make new highs. What this is telling me is it's telling me a story. After I mark the chart like this, what it tells me is this. It tells me that there's a cluster of resistance, a lot of bags, right? These are those bag holders. So I depict and find where the bag holders are. When there's a bunch of bags like that, what happens is I expect choppy price action. And because I expect choppy price action, I'm not going to throw the kitchen sink at this type of setup. So is it really worth my time? Is it lucrative to be trading this setup on PBBT if it curls back up? Not really. Not for me. But that being said, I want to make this very clear. That does not mean PBBT won't go all the way back up and start making new highs. I've seen that in my experience plenty of times. What it means is it's probably not going to be tradable for myself. But just look at that massive loss that we are avoiding, right? And it did hit our levels of when I was marking the chart. It did hit the levels, as you can see. Hit those levels, never closed below. And as we can see, or excuse me, never closed above. And as we can see, just tapered back down. So nasty, nasty move. Let's see. CING mentioned it could not get over 155, closed below. And guess what? It's tapered down ever since. So glad to be avoiding major losses. And really, guys, the strategy is built around risk management. I want to make that very, very clear. The strategy is built around risk management, not getting rich quick and not a bunch of BS. It's built around risk management, protecting ourselves from taking major losses and protecting ourselves from taking, basically getting caught in false breakouts. So we can see GDTC making some noise here. It's going to have to get over its resistance here of, let's see, I'll move that off the chart so you guys can see it. It needs to get over its 1050 level. 1050 is just a mental level. Yes, Russell, exactly. Yep, exactly. Exactly, yep. Russell's mentioning reference from the guide, which is awesome. It's a confirmation strategy guide. It goes in detail about this strategy. So if I pull over, let me see if I pull this up real quick. And if I go to the, let's see, the guide here, you can see in the guide, I'll go to view it instead of editing. In the guide that we have, of course, there's going to be 5 major red flags to avoid. That's what Russell's mentioning there. Let me see if I can grab this. Can't see it right. There we go. All right. So if I'm looking for the 5 major red flags, here's the 5 major red flags. This is the chapters on that. Low volume, goes into detail. Bullish vertical trend, exactly as Russell was just explaining. 15% or more in 3 minutes or less. That is a bullish vertical trend and definitely something we want to avoid. So that's right here in the confirmation strategy guide. And of course, there's examples too. So you can look at the examples and really understand what I'm trying to get across here. Previous major reds have been spotted. What should I do? So there's definitely red flags to look for if you're trading our strategy here, confirmation. And if you guys have that guide, definitely reference that as much as possible. But very simple strategy here. It does have those 5 major reds to look for. We want to assess those conditions beforehand. But most important of the strategy is close above is bullish, close below is bearish. Very, very, very simple. GDTC needs to close over 1050 to be considered. CING, if I pull this one up, has to close over 155, 173 to be considered. So set alerts. That's what I do, so you don't have to be glued to the chart. DFLI has to close over the mental level of $2. So set alerts. Just add an alert just like that. Usually I'll set it a little bit below. I'm just going to set it there, though. In PPBT, we avoided a major loss here on this one. Not trading it. So marking the chart within the first 1 to 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within the first 5 minutes, yeah, you can make some money on the scalp off the scanners. But guys, this is not the type of market that I'm trading off the scanners. Now, there was a time in my experience that I would trade just strictly off of these scanners, but that is not this time. I'm not. We're not doing that here. So I typically look for high quality alerts paired with high quality setups, and just look at the loss that we are avoiding here. Just can you imagine that? You know, I mean, how many times have, myself in the past and beginner traders before taken trades like this and getting whomped on something like that? It's a negative 25% and greater. It's a 30% loss right there. So it's absolutely nasty. It really is. But we're avoiding this. Again, marking the chart, looking for a clean setup. This cluster of resistance here is a major red flag. So yeah, we had news, we had volume, we had the pop, but we had a bullish vertical trend here. As you can see if I zoom in. bullish vertical trend. Did not close over a predetermined resistance. We've already filled the gap, so the probability of that gap filling again is a lot less likely. Close over that 209 level is what we want to see, in 210 up here at the top. So if it closed over that level, we could consider it for a possible long trade. But until then, we know that it's going to be basically a setup that we're not willing to take. And we're avoiding a major loss right here. Only trades I've taken so far was on GDTC, closed over $10. First trade I took on it was a loss. Over here on the side, took a loss right here. Took this candle over. It was a pretty bullish looking candle. Closed back below and bailed on my trade. Added into the dip as it was dipping. As soon as it closed under, boop, that's it. Dip out. Over here, we closed above again. Took this trade. 1 minute later, hit our target. Out 90%. Was holding a lotto. Knew that we had a bullish vertical trend. If I zoom in on this, you can see that we had a bullish vertical trend, and therefore it was not what we're looking for, not the type of setup. We want to see a clean close over resistance before deeming this as bullish, and we did not get that look, and as we can see, it's tapered down ever since. And if I was a short seller, then maybe I'd be looking at that, but I typically stay on the long side. So right now, what are we doing? We're waiting. We're sitting on our hands and we're waiting. We're trying to be patient and not be overly aggressive. So we're waiting for the market to tell us, where's the value? And these scanners will do so. So they are eliminating the BS. If I go down our high of day momentum scanner here, you're only going to see certain names: BTTX, GDTC, and you can see GDTC first alert at $8.50, went all the way up to 10.26, all within what is that, about an hour or less? Less than an hour, less than 20 minutes actually. So, and then next alerts, DFLI, $1.75, went up to, DFLI's right here, 217. And then up here, GDTC making new highs again. CING hit the scanners, $1.28, $1.64 up here. If we go to our bullish momentum, same thing. You're going to see the pink is high volume. We want to see that pink magenta, whatever you want to call it. That's telling us that there's high volume in that name. And we're looking for that high volume. We're looking for breakout type of volume. No position for myself at this time. And again, the strategy is built mostly around avoiding major losses. Of course, it's going to aid us in entry and exit as well. But depending on how you look at it and trade it will be really up to you and what you're comfortable with. CING, we can see once it closed under that 155, mentioned that needs to at least hold above that level. Did not do so. You can see that it did not close over the 155 and hold. Over here, we had that topping tail, avoided a major loss. We had a bullish vertical trend over here. So both of these setups were just not, they weren't high quality is what it was. And therefore, they weren't tradable for me. So avoiding major losses there. All right, we've got something making new highs on low volume. That's high volume DERM. Low volume new highs, 6 million share float, 20,000 shares today. Durham, DERM, pulling it up. First thing I do, mark the chart. So DERM, marking the chart for our team. We'll have these levels out in just a minute. Oftentimes I'll delete my levels and start fresh. I manually mark each one of these charts as well, guys. So it does take, like I said, 1 to 5 minutes at most. But it does help me avoid that FOMO in the beginning. So if you guys ever felt that FOMO off the scanners when they start yelling at us, I know I have. I try to avoid that and try to look for higher quality setups. Through my back testing and through my experience in the market, I found that my best setups tend to be after the initial 5-minute spike. So for me, I like to stick to what works. But if you find that you're profitable and consistently profitable, which is most important, guys. Consistency is most important. If you're profitable, that's great. But if you're not consistently profitable, that's a different story. So make sure you're consistent. Still marking the chart on Durham. Just about done here. All right, levels coming out on DERM. Well done marking the chart. Major resistance above 320 and 345. Chart coming out in chat. DERM has been updated. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on DERM. Checking for news. Durham has news. Putting that in chat. Durham is in chat for news as well. If I pull this over for you guys in YouTube, you'll see that we have levels marked. So now we're looking for a clean close. We want to see volume. Again, I want to see a yellow candle. I've got my BB volume indicator letting me know where the volume is. For my volume requirements, I need to see a yellow candle close over a predetermined resistance. I've got resistance here on DERM. Pink candles are major reds. Want to avoid those altogether. I appreciate it, Josie. Really appreciate that. And it goes both ways, by the way. I really appreciate our team helping out. I see you guys helping out. I was out last week. I saw a lot of members in chat helping others, and I really appreciate that, guys. It means a lot. So DERM, want to see this one continue up. Let me take the chart off the scanners for a little bit. This is our scanner layout. For everyone out there on YouTube that's not familiar with our layout, this is our scanner layout here. You're going to see our gap up top right. These are the stocks that are gapping up, right? We've got GDTC in the lead, 170%. Next to that, CING, 34%. So big drop off there. So GDTC is definitely one to watch, but keep in mind it is pretty extended. It's going to let us know the price and the float, and it's going to let us know the volume for today overall as well. Here in the center top, we've got the 1 minute volume leaders. So this is searching for the number one volume leader in the last minute. So if I pull over the chart here, it says now it's NWE. Am I reading that right? Some of these are tough to see. Yes, NWE.
New highs.
Unless I have that wrong. Or NVVE. I think that's NVVE actually. Yeah, NVVE getting a pop here randomly. Can see that was on our volume scanner. Not a whole lot of volume, but it's got some. Let me turn on the volume hunter. There it is. Actually, I don't have it on this one. You can see DFLI is the leader right now with 19,000 shares. So DFLI is the leader with 19,000 shares. Yeah, you can see that pretty clear. We want to see this in yellow. We want to see that the volume is in yellow. If the volume's in yellow, it's tradable. If it's not in yellow, then, well, I guess it's tradable. It's just a higher risk. No volume, no trade. It's my number one personal rule. No position for myself at this time. And as you can see on the graded alerts here, we did have some, some decent potential alerts, some little pop and drops here and there. But again, high quality alerts paired with high quality setups on the chart is what we're looking for. DERM has no volume to be traded right now, and that's kind of my concern here. So DERM is just lacking volume, needs to close over its predetermined resistance. With volume, right now it's struggling to do so. Hearing GDTC make noise again on the scanners. You can see it's hitting our scanners, saying that there's volume here. You can see that we are getting that yellow candle, so we are getting volume on GDTC. So yes, there is volume, but we want to see it close over its predetermined resistance above, which is 1050. So $10 to be considered, 1050 to be considered long. No position for myself at this time. Green on the day, thanks to GDTC. Closed over 10, hit our target there, hit a bullish vertical trend, took profit, I'm all out. No position for myself at this time. GDTC struggling to get back over 10, close over $10 to start watching, close over 1050 for a possible trade. For continuation, will not be overly aggressive, guys. Although these are white lines on my chart, they are not heavily weighted resistance levels. These are mental levels, $10 and $10.50. Above that, we'll have 11, then $11.50, $12, $12.50, $13. You guys get the idea. Half and whole dollar, no key levels on this one, which is a bit of an issue for me. Yeah, good point, Paris. Paris in chat just mentioned too that the spreads are pretty wide, and you're exactly right. The lower volume is going to do that. If you've got lower volume, you can see that high volume on my chart. You'll see white and yellow candles. Yellow is breakout volume, and white is extreme high volume. And we want to see that if we're trading it. If you don't see high volume on one of these names, typically you're going to see that wide spread on the level 2 data or level 1 data. So be careful with that. Good point, Paris. Thank you. GDTC has to close over $10 to be considered. So we could set an alert there. Just click that, hit alert, and there we go. So now if it starts to get over $10, we will be notified. So I don't have to be glued to that screen. Oftentimes in the past when I was a beginner trader, I would be watching the same stock all day long. And it would be frustrating because then I'd miss out on something else that popped. So for what I do now is I mark the chart, look for key gaps. So, after you mark the chart like this, CING, I look at this chart and I say, maybe this gap right here is tiny. I don't want to trade that gap. That's tiny. But maybe this gap here is a little bit more lucrative, right? That right there is an 11%, 12% gap. That's tradable. But maybe this little gap in here is not so tradable. So after I mark the chart, I can really assess these gaps and say, hey, this gap is better than that gap's better than this one. So let me set alerts at the gaps that I actually want to trade rather than just trading any gap that comes up, because I want to make sure I'm sticking to high quality alerts and high quality setups. So we can see in CING, not too concerned. And the green that you see here is that it's becoming oversold. So let me see if there's any other examples. What was the one that was moving this morning? BTTX, right? So BTTX this morning was moving. If I pull up, this is a new indicator that I have for our team.
New highs on low volume.
Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. This is the pre-market session. So red is going to show that it's extended and may need a breather. So we have the red here, little breather, and then came back up. Red again, little breather, came back up. Red, breather, and at this point we fell back down. Green area here is basically saying that's oversold. Little retrace, little bounce back up. Over here to the right hand side, same idea. Green again, right? Green area letting us know that it's oversold. Came back up, right? Over here fell down. Green, small bounce but not much. Green again, small bounce, not much, and then green again, and that's where we got a nice little pop there. I think that's the last one we've seen so far this morning. So it's just an indicator that I have on my chart. It's the Bullish Bob oversold, overbought indicator, which is going to be available probably today for our team in Discord. So that'll be a free indicator for all of our members in Discord. Hey, Azerty, good morning. Just saw your message. Good morning. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Tuesday. No position for myself at this time. I've taken 2 trades, GTTC, multiple trades on that ticker, but 2 sells on it. 1 loss, 1 red, 1 green. Basically flat in the day. I'm on the green side, but it's pretty much flat for me. Azerty, nothing crazy going on here. Let me see. Karen, I see your message in our free chat. DFLI? Would you jump in DFLI now? Hope for 9 or 9:30 pop? No. No, Karen. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, if you're in the voice channel or not, or if you're in the live stream or not. But no, I would not anticipate. I don't do anticipation trading, Karen. I try to stick to confirmation. So me, I'm very, very strict to my strategy. I don't veer off that path too much. I have to see it close over predetermined level. So in order for me to even attempt to trade on DFLI, it's going to have to close over this this dotted line here, the $2. So it's going to have to get over 2 and close over 2 and hold before I can even consider DFLI. And because that's a mental level, not a major weighted level on my chart, not like one of these white levels below or purple levels above, that means I will not trade that aggressive. So if I do take that trade, then great, but I will not throw the kitchen sink at it because it's not, in my opinion, it's not a major weighted level. Karen, can you hear me on the mic? Can you hear me in the voice channel? I'm assuming you can. Awesome, cool. Yeah, if you're already in it, Karen, it really depends on your average and you know where you got in, all that. You know, for me again, I'm very strict to my strategy, so I don't trade anticipation. I wait for it to close over the level, then get in. If it closes back below, I get out. It's very simple. It requires actively trading, but it's great because it allows me to get in and out pretty quick. And usually my trades either it's more like a do or die type thing. You're in from 2. Are you in from 2, Karen? Yeah, it's hard to say. Me personally, Karen, I really prefer to just close my position. If it gets under $2, I close my position and then I set an alert at 2, and then I'll actively trade that level again if it gets over 2. One of my rules in the confirmation strategy is I will attempt the same level a maximum of 3 times. And this is a personal rule. This is not a rule to the strategy. This is more of a personal rule. But I'll attempt the same level a maximum of 3 times. Now, I have not traded the $2 level yet on DFLI. So I basically, in other words, have 3 shots at it, right? So I've got, as soon as it closes over, I can take a shot at it. If it closes back below, that's 1. And I take a loss. Close back above, that's my second shot. Close back below, boom, loss, take the loss and move on. And then third time, close back above. Now, that being said, I will say that the conditions leading into that trade will make a difference if I take the trade or not. So if I see that we have low volume, I may not take the trade. If I see that we have a cluster of resistance above, I may not take the trade. So really, those 5 major red flags are going to play a major role in whether I'm going to take the trade or not. GDTC is my focus here. GDTC, focusing on this one. I hope that helped, Karen. GDTC back up to $10. I need to see it over $10 just to be considered. Get it over $10. I want to see it over $10.50 for continuation. I've already traded this one a couple times. GDTC, watching. No position for myself at the time. Yeah, that would be awesome, Azerty. That would be really awesome. Yeah, and I'd appreciate that too, guys. If ever I give out these indicators, especially the free ones, mess around with them, play around with them, see how they work with you, combine them with different strategies. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This one here is going to be out today. So the GDTC, let's see. This indicator is basically going to change the color of the chart based on the conditions. So very simple strategy. Anyone can, if you have any coding experience, I'm sure you can figure it out. Even if you don't, you may be able to figure it out. But this is going to be a free indicator for our team. Green is telling us that it's oversold and may bounce from that level. And we can see this is exactly what it did. So green over here, I'm plotting some of these, small pop, 7%. Green over here, very small pop, 2%. So that was a weaker one. Green over here, same idea, small pop, $3. Now at this point, this thing has completely grown from there. So if anyone took that trade off of that type of look, then you'd be looking at 62% from that. That's beautiful. Red is going to tell us that it's overbought and may need a breather. So here's a red area here. Red candle to follow. Excuse me. Again, red area. Red candle to follow. Let's see if there's another one. Here we go. Red area, red candle to follow. So basically, it's telling us that it needs a breather, is what it's doing. So hopefully it makes sense. But red, it may need a breather. Green, it may get a bounce. Very, very simple. But I'll have that indicator out for our team probably today. I'm combining it with the other RSI indicator that we have as well. No position for myself at this time. It's my pleasure, Karen. I appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate them. So GDTC, what happened here? We got up to that resistance of $10. We hit it. What this candle high? What was the candle high? Look at that. Candle high was $10. Right at our level. Again, we need to see it over 10 just to start watching it. So come on, get over $10 so we can trade you. For me, it's not really feasible right now to be trading it. BTTX kind of curling a little bit, but I'm not sure about that one either. DFLI is kind of flattening out at this point. it's kind of flagging to the right, which is not really what I want to see. Guys, my best trades are going to happen within 5-10 minutes of taking the trade. Those are my best trades. GDTC, we're in and out of that one. GDTC, I took over $10. I mean, look at this. This was the setup I took on GDTC. So closed above, right here, closed above, had a bullish candle closing above our predetermined resistance of $10, held the level, it got in, dipped back down, offering a nice tight entry to that $10 level. And then within less than, within less than 60 seconds, it hit its target. And we saw that bullish vertical trend, as I mentioned here in chat, which tells us maybe we want to take some profit and protect ourselves on the trade there. So GDTC at this point, again, I need to see it over 1050 for me to consider it as a long trade. 1050 is a $0.50 mental level. It's not a major weighted level on my chart, although you see these lines are just, these are not heavily weighted levels. So just like that. I'll put them back on there. So if you're not familiar with the half and whole dollar levels and marking those, I suggest marking those on your chart. I am used to them, so I don't usually mark them. I have these ones marked on GDTC just to make it easily visible for our YouTube members as well. Appreciate it, Lomo. Is that NVVE? Is that one, Lomo? Or is it NWE? It's NVVE, right? Yeah, NVVE. My eyes are getting old, Lomo. I'm seeing it as an NWE almost. New World Entertainment. Do I not have that one in the breaking news channel yet? Lomo, I'm sorry about that. Let me get that in there. Lomo, I gotta make it so you can chat in here as well. Let me do that. It's up to you, Lomo. I'm gonna make it so you can message in the breaking news channel as well. So anytime you want to add it in there, you're more than welcome to. But there's no obligation, of course. I'll do that now. Lomo's the godfather of the chat.
GDTC.
All right, Lomo, you've got full permissions in that breaking news channel. So anytime you want to add in there, feel free. Again, no obligation. It's just if you're ever available and you can, that's awesome. Otherwise, I'll add it in there as soon as I can. I just missed that one, but I appreciate your time. Appreciate it. 10 minutes until 9 a.m. Exactly, Wave. Don Lomo. That's Don Lomo right there. I can hear the voice, Lomo. One of my favorite movies right there. 1 and 2. We don't speak about 3 though. No position, guys. We've got 10 minutes till 9 a.m. watching for breaking news. 10 minutes till 9 a.m. watching for breaking news. Of course, we'll not just trade breaking news by itself. Want to see that paired with volume. No volume, no trade. Number one, personal rule for myself. I'm green on the day. Very, very small size, guys. I'm pretty much flat. Only trades I've taken were on GDTC. We're not really getting a whole lot this morning that's offering those high-quality setups and alerts. Waiting for that. We did well yesterday with Mob. Started the week out nice with Mob, M-O-B. No position at this time. Watching GDTC. I've got a few on watch. You guys can see my my charts here. DFLI, BTTX. BTTX is curling up. No position for myself, but we can see it's curling up here. Hit a high this morning of $1.47. Getting some volume and curling a little bit. I don't often trade this type of setup, guys. I really prefer bullish momentum. So for me, I'm not too concerned with a bounce play like this unless it's the oversold look. Nice, Carport. Way to go. Way to go. Lock in those profits. I know I don't need to tell you, but lock in those profits. Don't give it back. This market is designed to take it back, I'm telling you. So lock it in. Nothing wrong with that. Way to go. Great job. No position for myself at this time. Only trade so far, GDTC. Nice moves on that one. Trading the half and whole dollar levels on GDTC. Nice moves. I'm not hearing anything on the scanners, which means there's not a whole lot of volume. Let me take the chart off the scanner here for a minute so everyone can see the scans. Again, if you're on YouTube, guys, and you're new to these scanners and this layout, this is through Trade Ideas. I use Trade Ideas for my scanners. I'm actually setting up, they just messaged me yesterday about becoming an affiliate with them and all that and whatever. So we're kind of talking on that. But personally, guys, I love Trade Ideas. When you get their scanners, of course, you're not going to have scanners just like this. It took a long time. These scanners have been custom built, and I've been working on them for over a year, maybe longer than that. I'm not sure. Maybe just over a year on these scans. Before that, I do use Benzinga scans as well. I do like Benzinga scans. I use Benzinga for my news. So I love Benzinga. I've got that pulled up as well. If I pull this over, you guys will see my Benzinga layout. It's really simple, guys. I've got on the right-hand side, I've got details for a details page. Left-hand side, I've got custom filters on this grouping here for news. Then we've got the chat on the left-hand side. Of course, you can flip from the scanner. You can go to the details page. You can go to all different tabs here in Benzinga, which is really cool. But I mostly use Benzinga for my news at this point. I use it for breaking news. They are the fastest when it comes to breaking news in most cases. And I look for it to breaking news to be paired with high volume. So for me, you know, being a day trader, I'm a hunter of volume and volatility, right? So I need volume. It's that simple. I need volume. And so I'm looking for where the volume is and where the market is shifting. And these scanners are designed to do that exactly. Let us know where the value is in this market. We can see GDTC is up 168%. And just to quickly go over our scanners for everyone in our Discord as well and on YouTube, again, if you're not familiar with them, we're looking at our gap up scan top right. That's going to let us know all the stocks that are gapping up from yesterday's close. We've got our 1 minute volume leaders telling us the 1 minute volume, 61,000 shares there on CING. So 61,000 shares on CING right now, letting us know that that one has the most volume in the last minute. It's in yellow, which means it's, it's got enough volume for us to possibly trade. It's got enough liquidity for us to possibly trade. But of course, we need to see it set up clean on the chart first, too. We don't want to just take it because it says there's volume, right? We've got our teacher's pet scanner. This is going to give a grade to each one of these alerts. And I'm working really hard on this, guys. I've got a whole back tester that I'm working on. Let me see if I have it up. I do. So what you'll see is I have an entire back tester that is for this. I'll scroll over real quick. But you'll see that I have a whole back tester that I use for exactly that. I go over every single alert that comes through our scans. And I want to basically set a grade on every single one of those alerts. And a lot of different reasons or conditions are used to grade those alerts. And the idea is eventually what's going to happen is every single alert that comes through is going to have a grade attached to it as well. And it's going to be pretty soon changed up. Right now, I'm still working on these scanners. So these are the old versions. I've got new versions on another screen. It's going to give a grade for the potential of that alert. So it's basically checking off multiple boxes that others have checked off and say, you know what, this stock it's got high potential. It's got the recipe for success, just like all the other stocks in the past week or two or year, basically. And so what that's telling us is that it's checking off all the boxes. Now we just need to see it set up on the chart. So now stick to your strategy and look for it to clean close over resistance before getting in. And for me, that's a strategy I stick to. That's confirmation. Seeing some volume on GRR, very low volume on GRR, GRRR. No position for myself at this time. Need to mark, let's see, I need to mark a level on GRR, so I'm going to get a fresh chart out. We did have levels from yesterday, mentioned yesterday. This was on the BB Key Levels channel yesterday as well. No ideas added into the BB Key Level channel today yet, guys. I'm trying to focus on my trading and try to focus on helping out others right now. We'll get back to it. So we are live streaming on YouTube, guys. I appreciate your time this morning. We've got a couple minutes here until 9 a.m. watching for breaking news paired with volume. Got a new chart coming in on DFLI, or excuse me, GUR. So GUR has been updated. Feel free to compare your levels to mine. I'll pull this over for our YouTube members as well. So GUR is moving here. It's got a resistance at 650 above, smaller time frame level, and a $0.5 resistance. So it needs to close over 650 to be considered. Yesterday, the level was 588 on GUR. So the level was 588. Let's take a look at what it did once it closed over that level. So it was in our key levels channel yesterday. In the key levels channel, guys, if you're in our Discord, let me pull this up. If you're in the Discord, you'll see the key levels channel right here, key levels. And you'll see that after I mark the chart, I assess the gaps and try to notify you guys on what gap is the best. So GUR, 588 and $6. Not A plus because of those major reds, but that was the gap to watch. If I go over to GUR, this is that move. So in the pre-market session, it was moving, moving, moving. And then all of a sudden, we got our alerts, notified us, letting us know that it was closing over the 570, 588. Closed over, never closed back below, closed over 6. If I put my level here, cursor here, that's $6. Closed above the $6, came back, retraced, and touched $6, never closed back below, and then hit $6.98. So almost $1 per share move there. That's a target hit, 2 cents shy of the whole $7. At this point, we want to see it now close over $7. So it's already filled the gap to 7. So now we want to see it over the 650 to even start watching. So that's where we can send an alert just like this. And then I want to see it at around the $7 level to possibly trade. So I'll add another alert up there. And you can adjust your alerts, just lower them down a little bit, just like that. So GUR, GRRR, reminds me of Invader Zim. Anyone watch that show back in the day? Invader Zim, old cartoon show. There's GUR on that. GDTC, we are avoiding major losses, guys. We took a trade. We are green on the day thanks to GDTC. Closing confirmation over $10. Hit target of 1050. Never closed over 1050 clean. Had a bullish vertical trend over here on the left-hand side. No position for myself. Came back down, retraced. Never closed back over 10 for us to consider. And as we can see, it's retraced back down to its current price. Now, we are seeing that's becoming a little oversold here. So we may get a little small bounce on GDTC. So let me keep this chart up and just keep watch so you guys can see if it does or not. Not the typical trade I look for. I look for bullish momentum. But that being said, again, this is moving right now, or it was moving this morning. We've got, let's see, 30 seconds till 9 a.m. watching for breaking news. 9 a.m. Green on the day, very small size. Basically, at this point, guys, I can get myself a carton of eggs, a dozen of eggs right now, with the way the market is today. But I think the number one thing is that we're avoiding major losses, guys. So that's number one, right? So number one is not getting rich quick. It's avoiding major losses. I don't have any losses right now on the day. Excuse me, I do on GDTC, but I'm green on the day for that stock. So overall, very proud to say that I'm green, small size, but I'm not red. So that's what's important to me. GDTC, we can see on my chart there, is becoming oversold. It may get a little bounce from those levels, but no position for myself. Scanners going off here. NURO on the scanners. NURO, pulling this one up.
Heads up, team. We've got an A+ candidate.
And TAOP, cheapo and TAOP. Little cheapo there hitting the scanners. NURO, marking the chart on this one for our team. I'll have this out in just a minute. NURO. First thing I do is mark the chart for our team. Get this out. If you guys have any questions on YouTube, feel free to ask away. If I don't see them now, I will see them after. And I'll try to get to them if I can. All right, levels are marked on NURO. Getting this chart out now. Cheapo. This one's a cheapo as well, guys. Anything under $2 I consider to be a cheapo. Does not mean it's not tradable. But for me, I really prefer stocks over 2. So it really depends on yourself. My metrics and statistics show that I'm more accurate on stocks over 2. So Neuro is in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on NURO. Pull this over for our YouTube team as well. Levels are $1.04. I want to see it over $1.04 to be considered. $1.02, $1.04, and $1.08 resistance just above. Cluster of resistance on this cheapo. Checking for news, NURO. Does have news.
TAOP.
News is out. There's the news for you guys on YouTube. No volume right now. Number one personal rule, no volume, no trade. Sitting back. No position for myself at this time. Small green on the day. Thanks to GDTC. Man, if I could say that one. It's a tongue twister. No position for myself at this time. Charts out. If you're looking at Neuro for a possible trade, it's going to have to close over $1.02 and $1.04 to be considered. Cluster of resistance there. Cheapo. I may sit out of that one. Not exactly the ideal setup I'm looking for. I've got to mark SPY and Tesla for our team. I'm going to pull the chart off the screen for a minute. Mark SPY and Tesla. I mark SPY and Tesla every day for our team as well. Levels, key interest levels here. I don't see any new levels on SPY. So SPY's levels from yesterday are exactly the same. So no difference. I'll add it into our chat. All right, SPY is out and updated. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on SPY. Now marking Tesla for our team as well. So I mark Tesla and SPY every day after 9 a.m. I'm doing that now. All right, pretty good with that on Tesla as well. Levels come out on TSLA. All right, Tesla levels are out. SPY levels are out. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on TSLA and SPY. I'm going to go ahead and get our option scanners up for our options team back here in just a minute.
WYY. BTTX. GDTC.
All right, team, option scanners are up and running. Feel free to reference those and check those out throughout the day. We've got WYY hitting the scanners here. WYY marking the chart on WYY. It's on our graded scan as well. Sounds like low volume to me. Marking the chart. We'll have this out in just a minute on WYY. Seeing 246, 259 resistance above. No position for myself at this time. Green on the day, very small. Pretty much flat, guys. Took a red trade to start the day. Small red trade on GDTC. And took a green trade on it. WYY continuing to grind here. Getting more volume. Still marking the chart on WYY. We'll have this out in just a minute. It takes 1 to 5 minutes to mark each one of these charts. Sounds like low volume on WYY. We'll check for news here in a minute. See if we got any breaking news on it. Just about done marking this chart. All right. I think I'm good with that, guys. I'm going to get this chart out now. A lot of resistance below, or excuse me, a lot of resistance just recently broken. All right, we've got levels up to about 4 50. WYY has been updated and is in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine, pulling it over to our YouTube stream so you guys can see as well. Messy looking chart, low volume, needs to get over this cluster of resistance, 260, 269, 270 area. Nasty looking red there. I'm going to pull up Benzing and see if we've got some news on this one. This is WYY. Looking for news. It does have news as well. Hey, thank you, Lomo. Appreciate that. Lomo shared the news in chat. Huge help, Lomo. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So news is in chat. Lomo got that in chat for you guys if you need it. WidePoint awarded $46 million in IT and security contracts during Q2. Well, that sounds good, doesn't it? Now, I don't get wrapped up in the news, guys. I need to see confirmation. So we need to see this clean close over that predetermined resistance. All these lines that you see on my chart, those are bags, right? Those are bags. So if I did this here, this is basically what I'm seeing. This is a cluster of resistance, right? We've got a cluster of resistance. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to get through that cluster of resistance. But what it's telling me is that I do anticipate and expect some choppy price action. And again, therefore, I do not want to throw the kitchen sink at this. I want a cleaner setup. I want a better setup. And I don't want to force trades, guys. So we may not see that setup today. You know, and then again, we might. So it depends. And, you know, if I'm not at the computer and we see that setup and I miss out on it, then it's, you know, it is what it is. I can't take every trade that comes on the scanners, that's for sure. So for me, as you guys can tell this morning, I've only taken the 2 trades on GDTC, confirmation only. I did not veer off that path. I've got rules to my strategy that I stick to very religiously. I do not veer off that path. That's what's kept me consistently profitable. If it wasn't for that, guys, I would be I'd be in trouble. So I stick to the confirmation strategy day in and day out. Every trade that I take, it has to be confirmation. I won't take it unless I mark the chart. Hey, JD, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, sorry I didn't see if you were in chat. I'm kind of all over the place this morning trying to mark the charts. We've got the YouTube stream going on this morning as well, so trying to add some value to our YouTube members. Just trying to go over, guys. The idea here is for everyone who's tuning in on YouTube, number one, just want to say thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. This is what we do every day. Every day I'm live in voice from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time every day. What I do is I try to go over my trades. I try to go over when I'm getting in, where I'm getting out, why I'm getting in at that time, and what I'm looking for total. I try to mark the charts and I get those out to our team members. And I also try to get the news out as soon as possible. If I don't, one of our team members often gets it out as well. We're just working together, guys, as a team. What we're trying to do is make money and then lock in those profits, not give it back. So get in, get green, and get out, or get out of the way. That's our motto around here. And once we get in that green, we like to call it PPM. It's profit protection mode. So once we start hitting goals, we start making, the percentage gains that we're looking for, then profit protection mode kicks in, and the best way to protect that profit would be to shut it down. Not everyone is able to do that, and a lot of traders, like to trade throughout the day. I personally make the bulk of my profits in the pre-market session. If I don't make them in pre-market, I will trade throughout the day here and there, but I'm usually a little reserved. As I like the pre-market. We get first dibs in the pre-market on fresh news, fresh volume, fresh charts, all that good stuff. So for me, pre-market is my prime time. So if you guys ever want to get in on this, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time every single day. I'm going to start streaming on YouTube just like this at least once a week to try to provide value for our members on YouTube as well. Because guys, I understand that not everyone can afford, the membership and different things, and that's not the point of it. The point of the membership is to compensate for the time and effort put in, guys. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of studying and back testing and things like that. So, always working, always trying to get better, right? That's the goal here. But it's a very common goal: make money and keep it. Don't give it back. So, we need to see a clean close over a predetermined resistance, and WYY, as you can see, is not giving us that look. If I pull out of that one, GDTC, had that oversold look, and exactly just as I mentioned, small bounce, but nothing crazy, right? Mentioned this just a minute ago. Small bounce from these levels. I mean, look at that. That's 4%. So nothing crazy, right? But be realistic here. Are you going to get the bottom of that and the top of that? I'm not sure. So be realistic. Maybe 1-2% on that. And is 1-2% worth my time? Not often. Not often. I'm looking for more like 5-10% on my trades typically. But of course, everyone will be different. DFLI, we had questions on this one earlier. It's still just going sideways. I would set alerts around $2. I have an alert set there right now. I need to see it cross and close over $2 before I can even consider trading this one. So I would not be glued to the screen. I would not be watching this stock until my alerts come through. And of course, you can have these alerts pushed through to your mobile device or phone if you're not at the computer. CING, same thing. We're getting a little oversold look. Might get a little bounce here shortly, but nothing. I don't expect a huge reversal, but it could happen. It could happen. But we have this resistance above up here. We did not close above that resistance, and therefore I did not take the trade. It is 9:13 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to pull the chart off of the scanner page here so you guys can see that on YouTube. Again, top right is going to be our gap up list. We've got GDTC and BTTX are the two that are currently gapping up this morning. Let's see what that BTTX looks like. Leader in volume right now is TAOP. TAOP is a cheapo. I'm seeing, what do we have for a float on TAOP? 10 million share float. That's not bad. I'm going to mark this one for our team.
TAOP.
You can hear TAOP is hitting the scanners. Cheapo. Making a big move here, this cheapo. On TradingView, it's showing a 10 million share float, so that's a low float. I prefer stocks under 25 million share float. For those of you wondering, I prefer stocks under 25 million share float. I will trade anything up to 150 million share float on common shares. If it's over 150 million share float, typically I'm going to look for options if I do trade those setups, but typically I'm trading low float stocks. So anything under 150 million share float is low float, but I really consider higher quality setups to be on stocks that are going to have a float size of 25 million share float or less. So if you guys are wondering my parameters there, I do prefer stocks under 25 million share float. Still marking this TAOP. We'll have us out in just a minute. TAOP making some moves this morning. Lots of volume. Cheapo, under $2. We've got about 15 minutes, exactly 15 minutes. TAOP, B potential, mark the chart. Was on earlier, high potential cheapo at 57 cents. This one hit our scanner at 57 cents. It's now at, let's see, 96 cents. What a move. What a beautiful move on TAOP. This is from our cheapo scanner. You can see it on the cheap watch. You guys, if you're looking at YouTube, you have this cheapo watch here. You also have the teacher's pet. You can see a TAOP was right here on that scanner. Levels coming through chat in just a moment. No position for myself at this time. We can hear it's pretty quiet in the scanners, which tells us that there isn't a whole lot of volume at this time. TAOP is our leader in volume in the last minute. You can see that at the top of our volume scan. Charts coming through chat now for our team.
BBIG.
TAOP has been updated. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on TAOP. I'll pull it over for our YouTube stream as well if you guys want to see these levels. I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit easier. So it's a cheapo. We hit the target already of 101, so we want to see it over 101, close over that level first to deem this as bullish. As you can see, there's a lot of lines here, which tells me there's a cluster of resistance. It's a cheaper stock, so a few red flags there. Measuring this gap, it's only a 3% gap or less. Realistically, we wouldn't get filled on 3%. This one's 5%. This gap above is going to be, let's see, 5% as well. So these gaps are not that lucrative and not that enticing for me to possibly take a trade. So I think TAOP, I'll most likely sit out. That being said, guys, I want this to be very clear. Just because I'm sitting out of the stock does not mean it won't go up. What it means is that for me and my high quality setups and my back testing, it shows that I should stay away from stocks like this. If you're consistently profitable on stocks like this, go for it. But if you're not consistent, then I suggest that you focus on consistency first, because I promise consistency is king. The big difference in my own trading was when consistency was established. And the major difference in how I was able to establish consistency was just sticking to the rules of the strategy. So again, I pull this over in our Discord, but we have the complete low flow strategy guide, which is very, very important to myself. This goes in detail of what I'm looking for, the volume requirements. It goes over how to find the support and resistance, goes over our 1-minute confirmation strategy, the rules for the strategy. Very important sticking to those rules. It really goes over how to assess key gaps, the volume requirements that we're looking for, which is going to be different for pre-market and aftermarket, or excuse me, pre-market and regular session, of course. When to take profit, how to manage risk, leaving a lotto, what is a risk it for the biscuit setup, which is, again, a risk it for the biscuit is basically saying that all the conditions or the rules have not been met to take the trade. So it's not a high quality trade, but it still has a large gap above. So it may be a risk it for the biscuit that we call here in chat, which is, some trades I do take. I will take risk it for the biscuit trades, but I will adjust my size and approach knowing the conditions beforehand. So it is 9:19 a.m. Eastern time. We've got about 10 minutes till market open. I'll be hopping off the voice channel here around 9:25 a.m. Eastern time. You guys have in Discord, you have my mark charts, you have my levels, so feel free to reference those throughout the day. So a little tip too, if you guys have the Discord up, go on the mark charts channel. Go ahead and click on one of these, and if you are having trouble seeing it, hit open in browser down left, and you can see the levels a little bit clearer. So if you're having trouble seeing these coming in, just go ahead and click on that. Most of the charts added into chat will have a link as well. So just click on the link and it will open it up, expand it for you. Got TAOP making some noise here. TAOP hitting new highs. Or excuse me, testing that high and resistance. There it is. So TAOP popping up here. Does have volume, it's grinding. So I expect some choppy price action. Doesn't mean it won't go up and through these levels, just means I'll probably sit out. So no position for me, guys. Hitting that target of 101 for anyone who's in. Close over 101 and 104 is worth watching for possible continuation here. Until then, I'm not too concerned, but even so, I probably will sit out. Does not mean it won't continue. This is a high potential cheapo. Look at that. There it goes. Hitting targets like that, 104. Has not closed over yet. Still 50 seconds left on this candle. See where that candle closes. Look at that. Massive moves. So TAOP, nice moves for this cheapo here. If anyone's in this one, it's hitting multiple targets, hitting a cluster of resistance. Grinding on TAOP, seeing 381,000 shares in this candle on TAOP. TAOP hitting that $1.09. Now at this point, guys, it's filled the gap to $1.10. Want to see it close over $1.10? At this point, it's filling the gap. Again, I'm going to sit out of this one. It's not going to be for me. But that being said, does not mean it's not tradable. If you're consistently profitable trading these cheapos, then this is one to watch. It's moving in the right direction. Close over $1.10 is bullish. Close back below is bearish. Look at that. Close over that level, continuing up. 115 is the next resistance level. 115. Has not closed over $1.10 yet. Watch for a clean close over $1.10 and $1.15 to continue. No position for myself at this time. You can see it's on the scanners. If I pull this off like this, you can see TAOP is the only stock hitting the scanners in the last few minutes. So it's the obvious stock to be watching. if you're looking for the value and the volume in this market. No position for myself, guys. Small green on GDTC. That may be it for me trading this pre-market session. If I trade throughout the day, I'll let you guys know in Discord. But no position for myself. Very small green. Flat on the day, pretty much, guys. 2 trades on GDTC here in voice. TAOP struggling to close over its $1.10 level.
Major red flag spotted.
NNBC.
Almost a negative 4% candle there. False breakout. You can see a false breakout there. No position for myself. 9:22 a.m. Eastern time. We've got just over 5 minutes till market open. If you guys are watching TAOP for a possible trade, it has to close over $1.10. It's about filled the gap to $1.15. Close over $1.10 is bullish. Close back below is bearish. No position for myself this time. TAOP moving. Get the news on here as well. News is in chat. You guys need it? TAOP. Yeah, Russell, it came on our cheapo scanner, actually. Let me see. Yeah, it's on the cheapo scanner here. Let's see what the first alerts were. TAOP was 57 cents on the first alerts. Pretty impressive move, I'll tell you.
Major red flag spotted.
I'm not sure, Russell. It's hard. You know, I don't often predict things like that. I just stick to the strategy. So if it is going to go up and continue, it has to close over those resistance levels first. So I'm not one usually to make predictions and say, you know, this thing's definitely going or whatever. I don't typically do that. It's got a choppy chart, so I'm not sure what to expect. One thing I would expect is that it's a cheapo. It has a choppy chart and a low float, so I'd expect some choppy price action to go along with that. So close over $1.10 and $1.15 is worth watching and is bullish. Close back below that level is bearish. So I would set an alert below there. So just set right click, add alert, and there we go. So now I have an alert set there. Again, Russell, I probably won't be trading this myself, as you know, trading with me for a while now, that you know that I'm not big on these cheapo stocks under 2. I really prefer stocks over 2, especially or at least over $1.50. This one, if it gets over $1.10, is worth watching. But for me, I'll probably sit out. I'll try to sit on my hands for a while. Yeah, I could see that, Shira. I could see that.
GDTC.
We've got 5 minutes till market open. 5 minutes, guys. Just want to say thank you to everyone out there on YouTube for joining in this morning.
5-minute warning until open bell. Good luck, team.
That's right. Good luck. Just want to say thank you to everyone on YouTube tuning in this morning for our live pre-market session. I'm going to start doing this at least once a week, going over these charts, going over these levels, going over my trades. The idea here is to educate others and let them know exactly how I trade. Hopefully that can help you in some kind of way where it's going to help you get more conviction and help you understand how others are trading, right? So I trade a very specific strategy. Not everyone trades a strategy. And guys, there's plenty of ways to skin the cat here in our market. So, you know, my strategy is not the only strategy, but I will say that I do believe that this strategy is the best strategy when it comes to mitigating risk and focusing on risk management for low float stocks, right? So if you're trading low float stocks, I'm telling you, give this strategy a try, give it a chance, because I'm telling you, it's very, very simple, but it has a few complex parts to it. But of course, it's a very simple strategy, guys. Close over this line is bullish. Close back below the line is bearish. If it closes over, I can get in for a long trade. If it closes back below, I've got to bail and take a loss. I do not hold low float stocks overnight. Let me repeat that. I do not hold low float stocks overnight. That is not what I do. If I'm going to hold something overnight, it's typically going to be a swing trade on a large cap name, something like Tesla, SPY, AMD, things like that. I do not swing low float stocks myself. But guys, I appreciate your time this morning. I'm going to end the YouTube live stream. Just want to say good luck to everyone out there today. Stick to the strategy that makes you money. Stick to the strategy that keeps you consistently profitable, because if you're not consistently profitable, then really what's the point, right? You're going to end up finding yourself in some deep holes, unfortunately. If you guys have any questions for myself, I am the moderator in Benzinga's day trading chat room, so feel free to find me there. If you're not in Benzinga, find me in Discord. I'm on Discord as well. We have a free version, so if you guys want access to that, just let me know. But we're very active in the premium version, of course. But I appreciate your time, guys. I hope everyone has a great day. Stick to your strategy.